CTM stock is one of the smallest market cap cybersecurity companies in AI and large data management that's getting some big government contracts that a lot of people aren't talking about. So if you're an investor, I would encourage you to have caution as it's very small market cap. One thing to consider, we've been growing quite a bit. I appreciate you guys. We're up over 15,000 subscribers. This video I just posted on Castellum yesterday. It's a 8 out of 10, meaning it doesn't perform as well, doesn't get as many views. And I'm seeing that with this stock. And the other thing about this stock, and that's not a problem at all, like we realize, algorithm and everything else. But what I'm saying is, if you look at CTM from a hype perspective, like let's do CTM Castellum. When I search this stock and I go into the news, there's like maybe an article every few days. And none of these articles are, you're going to miss the wave and buy now before it's too late. And if you don't buy Castellum stock, you're going to be broke or whatever it is. The hype articles don't exist for this stock. And I love that. And I also am fine that we're not getting as much engagement. And the one thing that's been happening is they're getting these contracts. And I find it to be a sleeper because take a look at their financials. When we look at the company, their quarter here was 11 million. Then 2024, second quarter, 11.5 million. The third quarter was 11 million again. And then quarter four was 10 million again. And then after this quarter four, they had this, and so their net income and revenue is like, it's fine. It's actually pretty good. It's more than other companies valued at much more. Their market cap is just 79 million. And so we traded it quite a few times from some different levels, and check that out. Rigetti stock, quantum computing is what we were trading this morning. If you guys want to watch us trade live every day, it's the second link in the description. CTM stock here, it's been on this ride, and our position's kind of consolidating. We got a smaller position, just 3,300 shares. But it's like, look at this trend that's starting to develop. And of course you see this hype and you're like, well, that looks like I wouldn't buy that. Look at this pump. I get it, but it's the difference of, like a couple dozen million in market cap because it's such a small company, like things like that, it's going to look like that. So just take that into mind. But here's the deal. The three things we look at in a stock kind of check out with this one in a positive light. The CTM outlook for the market, they're in government contracts for large data and large machine learning and intelligence services, which puts them in a market that's growing and is likely not going to see a decrease in government spending. In fact, we'll probably see more of an increase in government spending in the market that they're in. Okay, so the market's good. The usage of their services is prevalent, so their market's good. That's growing. Billions of dollars being put in. They're compared to companies like Big Bear AI or Palantir. Okay, so we just put that there on the plate. Then the second piece is the analysis. And in the analysis, we go through three things, right? We go through the technical analysis, the fundamentals, the news, and then we go through the financials. We just went through the financials, and I can just show you again, small market cap, good revenues, net income, a little negative, but up and doing better year over year. Net in cash, okay. Overall, looks like they're getting growth and they're seeing growth, and their market cap is still very small for the amount of revenue that they're pulling in. So financials overall looking good. When you look at their technical analysis, there's this trend that's starting to develop, and it's happening. You can see it kind of from left to right in this instance, where it's been consolidating those green lines. And that's when we like to trade it. We start to see these levels. But it's also happening in a swing from this trend, this uptrend. So if you continue some of the direction we've seen, started covering it a few months ago, and I think it was around less than $1 a share for sure. And we've traded these swings as they've taken place. And now we're looking at the swing, and it's saying, hey, it kind of seems like if we break above this $1.20, or we see some of this consistent movement, that we could see it surge up into this level of $1.70. Now, it's just a couple $1 million difference in market cap, and we know that institutional investors are in it. So that's more fundamental. We'll get there. But essentially, we're looking at technical analysis. It's trying to break above this 200-day moving average right here. You see that? So that it hasn't broken up. So it's not fully bullish, but you do see this rising support. You see this green line right here, this orange line. It's a rising support. And then it just broke above the EMA. So that's indicating some bullish momentum, that blue line. The exponential moving average, it oftentimes acts as a support when we're bullish. And if we're bearish, like in this case right here, it was acting as a resistance. But we're holding above that blue line. Things are looking good. Now, here's where I see the technical analysis also looking good. I'm a Fibonacci retracement guy. I like to use it, and it's led to some of my success in technical trading. We stack all these probabilities in our analysis, but if we go really technical, from the top down, you go to the biggest low, recent low, which was 60 cents right here, and you go to previous highs, okay? So where we could see it get in the near future, or where we would outline. I would say this level right here, you see there's a pretty clear resistance right around $2.20 to $2.28. And let's stretch that out and what that kind of looks like. So when we're looking at these levels, let me just get rid of these orange and green lines. So we just only look at Fibonacci. As you can see, the buy ratio is in this golden ratio, this 0.618. According to the golden ratio, that's where you buy, and you look to sell an okay trade up in this purple or pink, this really good trade up in this purple, and then really awesome trade up in this lighter purple. And so right now it's just below that golden ratio, so it could get rejected, and it's possible. But if it breaks up into this $1.20 range, we're looking at new previous resistance that it had at $1.25 that's going to act as a support most likely, and breaking above the 200-day moving average, which we would see more bullish momentum. So that's how the technicals look. I'm in it fairly early. I wouldn't advise anybody trade it at this moment, as it does seem like it's potentially, look at the RSI, it looks maybe a little overbought, but it was a nice dip today, or yesterday, that it dipped down and it was buying opportunity. Now, when it comes to the fundamentals and the news of CTM stock, what we're looking at is a few key movements that have strategically positioned them to have growth in the near future. So let me get into their actual website. Let's go directly to the source. Not that there's that many articles to look at. $103 million contract here for working with Naval Air. Okay, so you could see Maritime Patrol and Reconnaissance Force Families of Systems. $103 million for a 5.5 year contract. Okay, so that right there puts them $20 million a year. That's extra $5 million a quarter. Okay, so now they got extra $5 million a quarter. Their revenue's at $11 million. Maybe that adds to their $11 million. I know other contracts can go away, but that's something to consider. So there's an increase in revenue right there that hasn't been accounted for because it happened here in Q1 in February, so it wasn't in the last earnings call. And then you got $3.2 million contracts, a few contracts, and then also this SBA, Protege. So they're shadowing companies to learn how to take on more contracts. The contract that they also recently announced is this Oasis Plus. This is not specifically any one contract. It's kind of like they are admitted to Upwork, and they submit to the government and say, we are on demand to work for you for the next 10 years, according to this contract. And there's no ceiling value of contract value. Like it could be any amount. And this is specifically, if you look at what they're going to be providing, intelligence services, technical engineering, research and development, and management and advisory. There's a little bit mention of possibly some like warfare tech as well, as they do work. I mean, as we saw, their $100 million contracts with Naval Air, and their CEO, I believe, is also formerly in the Navy, so he's got some maybe connections there. Their main focus is U.S. government and commercial clients with cybersecurity, software development, systems engineering, information and electronic warfare, program support, and data analytics services. They work with 5G technologies, model-based systems engineering, and a lot of information intelligence. The other thing that they recently did is the CMMI Level 3 appraisal. This means that they're basically noticed, they are acknowledged as a company that has very good business operations practices, which puts them, if they're at maturity level 3, it's kind of like this certification that puts them in a position to take on big contracts because they've demonstrated their ability to scale and to grow and hire new people quickly. So that's good. This is what I'm looking at. So the news looks fairly good. I see them get new contracts. I'm seeing their market cap fairly low, and I'm seeing this trend start to develop, and that's why we're trading it. The financials and all that together, now we get into step number 3. So we went through the analysis, and step number 2, and we went through step number 1, which is the market overview. Both those things and all those things look fairly good. The financials are nice. They're not crazy revenues, but definitely in a nice ratio to their market cap. Here is what we're looking at as well, is the plan for profit. So we're in it right now, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying I could see this trend continue like this. So you can kind of see a level of resistance. If you're paying attention here, this is a level of resistance. And so this is the trend that we're basically investing in and trading. And also we're looking at this level that's key, where it could get rejected where it is currently. So where it's at right now is a previous resistance. You could see that level. And so it didn't get rejected, but it's on its way there, and it's the 200-day moving average. So we'll see how it reacts when it gets to that level. Most likely, it could get rejected or face some resistance at that level. So we'll see if it breaks above. If it does, that's great news. But we'll be watching it closely and trading it on a continuous basis. And if any opportunities present themselves at market open, we'll be looking for it. If you guys want to watch me trade live each day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's that second link in the description. So Stockmate, surround yourself with other traders and investors. We just got live this morning. It's trading CTM, and we traded Rigetti as well, and things are going well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. If I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.